Today I'm gonna make some bread. Sorry, I just made some cookies earlier this morning and been munching on them. All right. What I'm looking at is just a cookbook that I've wrote down. It's just a notebook, and I've went online and got these. In fact, I've got a couple of my recipes. Two recipes came from Trisha Yearwood, and a couple of them, a good bit of them came from Jenny Can Cook. She's got a YouTube channel here. She's got a YouTube channel. Plus, she's got a website. So, I'm trying to find one of her. I've even got a couple from Ree Drummond. I'm trying to find one of her recipes for bread. I've got a couple.
Hey everybody! Moon King 907. Moon Block 9.
In other words, in English, he said Daniel Brown.
Yes, this is her husband.
Okay, my usual loaf bread is Amish white bread. I wound up getting 2 loaves out of it, which is great. Because if you don't have a lot of space and you don't have a lot of money, if you can make the bread, you can put it up one, leave one out, put one in the freezer. You're good to go. They're great they're great froze, just like any other bread. No need crusty rolls. That one came from Jenny. By the way, the almond did not come from Jenny. Jenny Can Cook. I just went online and was looking for bread recipes and bumped into it. So, don't know who did the recipe. I probably should look it up so that y'all will know. Ornament cookies. I'll go into that a little later, but I probably should look it up and find out who actually did it. But I'm not doing that today. Okay, cinnamon rolls, easy dinner rolls. Let's see, there was one that looked like a big round loaf. Double chocolate chip cookies. No need crusty rolls. I believe that is what I was looking at. Okay, what do we need? 2.5 cups of flour or all-purpose flour. 1/4 teaspoon instant or dry yeast, active dry yeast. 1 teaspoon salt. 1/4 cup hot tap water. Cut the tap water on as high as it'll go, and it'll probably reach, if you had a thermometer, which I don't. Give me a second, everyone. I heard something. Oh well. Like I said, like I was saying, if you just cut on if you had a thermometer and you wanted to make sure it was accurate, put the thermometer in there to cut on your tap water as hot as it'll go. It should reach up to 130, but I'm used to hot, so I know how far to go. Now, here's the thing. Bread flour, she did not mention that you needed baking powder in this. But if you're using all-purpose flour, everybody says use the baking powder to go along with it. It just helps things. It turns all-purpose flour into self-rising flour. You got to have the baking powder and salt for both to work. And I'm still trying to figure out the ratio, because I can't seem to get my biscuits to rise anymore. I started out using the self-rising flour, and once I figured out how to make the biscuits, I got beautiful biscuits. But when I switched to all-purpose, because I wanted to make breads too, and I switched because it was cheaper. I found it on sale, and it's just been cheaper, and I've got so much of it. I figured I'd stick with it, figure it out. So I'm still trying to figure it out. So we're gonna do something from Jenny. Her name is Jenny Jones. Like I said, she's got a YouTube channel. Plus, she's online, and her website is jennycancook.com. Highly recommend her. Like, really highly recommend her. She's got a lot of good stuff. I've done a few baking things today, so I've got a mess. Let's see. This can go over here, and I can start my baking. Put that in the refrigerator. Okay. I'm going to set this right over here. Oh, there's a little. Oh, I didn't know I wrote that down. They freeze beautifully. Okay. For what little ingredients, I've got a lot of directions. I'll be so impressed with the fact that I've saved the money. I'm still managing to make this incredible space for their son. But no, this is definitely about upstairs and the ceilings. Now, start with 4. Now, I told you before that I really don't use the plastic, but in this case, I do actually know how much this is. It is actually a cup. That will be beyond disappointing. Sold it once, we'll sell it again. So let's get. Thrown into the mix, the crews turning up the heat on the completion of existing work to make sure they can deliver. Meanwhile, they are turning up the heat on the house hunt. Exterior. Hush got a great coordinator in out here. One. What did you see back here? Can I have for a basketball court? It's not a right. Look at this. It's got a basketball court already set up for you. Not quite what you're looking for. I know. It's got a beautiful 2-car garage, nice front porch, wrap around. There's a basketball place. 2. It's got a quarter acre. Now, where's... Well, for y'all, I guess I will try and find the right measurements so that we know for a fact what we're doing. And for me, that would probably be a very good idea. This is pretty bad. We believe the best of digital infrastructure can transform healthcare in places like Cleveland and Honolulu. Dazzle spectators on Broadway and the silver screens of LA. A simple okay. Now we can do this proper, now that I've got the proper measurement. Subscription for free with 1-800 contacts. Okay. Yeast. grab it. Small's not all that great. Or really not all that's cracked up to be. Said a 4th teaspoon. That would be that little thing. Not very big, is it? I'd be surprised. On how much that will do. You'd be really surprised. And you need salt. I think I'm going to just follow the directions and leave off the yeast. Leave off the baking powder. Okay. Same amount. Oh no, it's 1 teaspoon. So I can take a half a teaspoon. You take a half. And double that, it will be 1. Everybody knows 2 halves make a whole. 1. 2. Now I know I hear something outside. Hold on, everybody. Let's just let me poke my nose outside and see what's going on. What? I'm busy. It's just my silly father-in-law.
What's going on over here? Well, trying to bake. When you come from the toilet and make it more.
Okay.
Donated by Brian. I love it. And just hang a pair of shoes right there.
Alrighty. Ignoring what's going on outside because it's really nothing I want to be involved in. Alright, I'm going to stir these ingredients. In fact, I hadn't been looking at the instructions, but it does say, in a large bowl, combine dry ingredients. Stir in water mixture. It will be thick and sticky. Cover with plastic wrap and let stand for, 3 hours. Did not read that one when I decided to do this. So we will not be finishing this one. Oh well. Plan B, but at least I have rolls coming.
You doing your video?
Yeah, and I just read the instructions where it said this has got to set for 3 hours. What's the drama going on now?
Your parents sent him some messages.
About?
They might be talking about him beating his wife.
Huh?
He acts like he don't know what they're talking about. Don't do your video, but I ain't in it.
Okay. 1. Now I'm just gonna, because I don't have a measuring cup, so I don't know. I'm gonna just eyeball this, but if you use a cup like I do, a fourth of a cup would be somewhere right around that range. It's not a lot.
Makes it feel really open. Nice. This is awesome. Yeah, in terms of the half court. Yeah, you can do a nice hand.
Okay. Now this is a little too much for a fourth, so we're not gonna use. We're not gonna use all of this. I'm gonna use about like that. Now it says that this will stir in the water. Mixture will be thick and sticky. So we're looking for a thick and sticky mixture.
Oh, very nice. Storage. You have your office space here. And you can have your closet here. That one is master bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
The master bath. I like everything. That's stylish. It's very nice. Yeah. Walking closet. Oh my goodness.
Probably shouldn't have done him the way I did, but I don't like him, so I did it anyway.
Yeah, your parents sent him a message. Said he got the message.
My parents sent him a message about what?
Probably about him beating. Probably about him beating his wife. Anybody know what that's about? You over there abusing your wife, man. Don't no man like that kind of stuff. Nobody.
We have family drama. Even out of my parents, I really can't be around them because, well, my mom didn't raise me. We were taken from her, and she thinks that I should act just as badly as my baby sister. And I don't. Nor am I clingy to her. I don't need to reattach the apron strings. I've got someone attached to my apron strings. I really don't need to attach me to her. No, that's just gonna irritate me. So, and because I don't do and because my nerves are not all that great, I'm staying out of problems. But my husband's got problems too.
And
Out of my father-in-law.
Boaz didn't even want him in his face.
No wonder.
No, Boaz started back.
Yes, I know. Because he hit his wife with your dad hit your mom with him in her arms. Let him go hungry. That's what the article said.
No, I got this. So, you need to eat.
Okay, we're going to set this aside in there.
You need to eat. Oh, baby. There you go. This is too cold for him. It's too cold. He don't want it.
Okay.
He doesn't want this up.
Plan B. Since that has to set for 3 hours, I won't be baking them until tonight.
That's a good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good baby. Good. You're eating it. That's a good boy.
20-minute pizza dough. Amish white bread. Okay.
Oh, you can't have it. This is Boaz.
What are you doing?
I need milk for the oatmeal cookies. Need milk for that. Okay, 1.5 cup all-purpose flour, 1 cup sugar, 4th cup unsweetened cocoa powder. I can do that. 1 teaspoon baking soda, not baking powder.
Hey, Paula.
1/2 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon water, or 1 cup cool water, 6 tablespoons fresh lemon juice or distilled white vinegar. I've got the vinegar, and 1 teaspoon vanilla. This I can do. And by the way, it's called a quick and easy chocolate cake, and it's by who else? Jenny can cook. Jenny Jones. Oh, by the way, Smallhead happens to be our son. So, I've done this one a few times. I absolutely love the recipe, love the cake. It's very rich, very decadent, and when it comes, you will never, ever, ever, ever go out and buy you another cake. In fact, for all you housewives out there, you make this for your husband, and he's going to say, never again are you buying another box of cake. He will demand you to make this one. Anyway, you can actually add a lot to this. I've added some candy to it at one point. You could add candies to it. I've added nuts. Chopped up some walnuts, added that to it. In fact, I think I still have a few left. Do I? And yes, I do. So that's great. So let me get me another mixing bowl here because I've only got 3 and I've used all 3. And we will be making a cake. Now, her recipe calls for a 1-layer cake. I use a bundt cake. I use a bundt cake pan. This is actually an equivalent of two layers. So when you make this, you have to double it. In her video, when she shows you how to do this cake, like I'm going to show you, she also goes into detail on how to make some icing. If you go on her website, you can actually find the ingredients you can actually find her recipe for her icing. And what she does, one of the neatest things, I think it's neat because it's real basic and real simple, and you ain't got to do a lot to it. She leaves it in the pan she cooks it in. She leaves the 1-layer cake in the pan she cooks it in, and she just ices the top of it. No frill, no fuss. No frill, no fuss. Just like the lady on TV. And I've drawn a blank on what her name is, but she's an elderly woman who does a lot of she in her younger years she did a lot of catering. So let me watch this. We actually eat mac and cheese.
He's eating it.
Good job. Good job. Mac and cheese. Family, everybody in the family must love mac and cheese. Because Mommy makes it all the time. In fact, I have learned to make it from scratch, so you will be learning to eat it.
Come on in and sit down. We'll finish eating.
morning, he called our son Boaz, and that is actually his name. We named him Boaz. Boaz is a Bible name, and that's where I got it from. I went looking for a Bible name that you really don't hear all the time. In fact, I've never heard that a child being named that. But I didn't, at the same time, I didn't want a name that sounded kind of dorky too. So Boaz turned out to be perfect. A neat little thing about his name, Boaz actually means swift, which I thought was really cool, and I did not know that until I just thought about. Till our minister was talking about the meanings of his kids' names, and it got me thinking about what does my child's name mean? So I wound up looking up, and his name actually means swift. But he's also our son is also a third generation Drake. So his full name is Boaz Drake. And Drake is short for Draco, which also means dragon. So go figure that one. And by the way, I picked out his name before I realized what it meant. So I had no idea when I picked it out. I just liked the combo. 1. See, I'm doubling mine. So 1, 2. Now, they called for 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Now, here's something. I've had a hard time with this for a long, long time, and my adopted mother has tried very hard to try to teach me how to do that when I was growing up, and for some odd reason, it never clicked. How do you double some of these measurements? And yes, I still have a hard time with it. But this one's really, really easy. It calls for 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. But if you're going to double this, you would need about 3 cups. You would need exactly 3 cups because 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3. Half and half is 1, makes 1. Now, I believe that's got it. 1 cup of sugar. I'm going to use the 1/2 cup over here. And okay. There's 1/2. Oh, so I actually need 2 cups of sugar.
Originally, I never wanted to buy a fixer-upper. I was 3 months pregnant. My husband convinced me that that would be something that would be done by the time that Sullivan arrived.
With great ambitions, we had about 5 months before my son was due. Didn't even get close to getting done everything. Not even close.
2, so that's 1 cup.
Right now, I want to spend the weekend with him, and not have to worry about fixing this or changing that or repairing this.
I understand how Ryan's feeling that he's constantly doing a project, but what he doesn't see is how much he is providing for our family, making this house a home for us.
We are first-time parents. We need to focus on our family, not house renovations.
1.
So, you know,
I fell in love with the bones of it, and I still very much love the bones of his house.
I love the neighborhood, love the area, love how close we are to work. Do not like how much work is left to do in this house.
If we could fix The majority of the problems in the house, I'm sure Ryan would love this house.
But there's so many projects. The outside of this house is a
Two, so I've got 2 cups of flour here. 2 cups of sugar.
Everything's falling apart. Siding that was replaced hasn't been painted. I want to yard in my son like right now we have the rest of the backyard.
I do think that we can handle doing landscaping and the exterior of the home.
Well, that's your call. If you think he's done, then he's done, honey.
He ate a lot of it.
Has he been? Does he still act like he wants it, or?
He just looks at it. Hold on, let me see.
You don't just knock down a wall. There's a lot of work.
As long as that mouth still opens, try to give him more.
He might be done. He might be done. I don't know. Because he's not really asking for it.
So it's already halfway done. All you have to do is just finish the stuff you
I don't want to have to start doing this stuff.
I'm going to call my mom in a minute. Is you done with the video or you still doing the video?
We're making a cake instead because the rolls takes about 3 hours to do, and I'm pretty sure you don't want me doing a live stream for 3 hours.
How long is this been going on?
31 minutes or 32 minutes.
The longer it is, the more money you can make. Okay. She's cooking for real. This ain't no clickbait. She's not trying to get clicks. None of that. She's for real. She's real. I just say that because a lot of people think you're doing clickbait.
What is that?
Man, you're just trying to do it for the. You're just trying to do it just to get clicks. No,
I just wanted to have a little fun.
you're doing
Do
it for
something
fun.
that's
Yeah.
I just wanted to have a little fun. Teach somebody. Maybe there's somebody out there who needs to know what I've learned.
Yeah.
Plus, if I can reach out to somebody, then I've done my job.
Okay, I gotta make a phone call. To my mother.
Welcome to my family. Like literally. Okay, this calls for a 4th cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. Now, my problem. I have no idea how to double a 4th. So what I'm going to do is just do it twice. Give me a fourth a cup and just do it twice. Now, find my plastic. Where's my measuring cups? All the way over here. Some of them were clean, some of them were not.
Let me call my mother and see why my dad came up over here for.
I thought I heard something going on out there.
There was something going on. I had to tell him to get on away from this house. I told him to get off the property.
What did he say about me sticking my tongue out at him?
You took your tongue out?
Yes, I did. He was waving at me like a moron.
Yeah, why did my dad come over here? Yeah, he was over there drunk, cussing and everything. I told him he had to go on home, get away from my house.
Like I said, welcome to the family.
Yeah, he was driving around drunk. I told him to get on away from my house. With all that. No, Lori's in there busy doing the video right now, so.
Hi, Mama.
Yeah, No, he didn't bother her. She didn't want to talk to him anyway.
No, I stuck my tongue out at him.
So he can't. Yeah, he was over here cussing and everything. I told him he had to go on back home. Yeah, but he said somebody sent him a text message. He said they
Okay, there's
Zoe-
one
he said
for us.
Zoe's dad sent him a text message. Don't know. And then he tried to tell me what to do about my child. I told him. I said I gave Boaz a whooping because Boaz didn't want to eat nothing.
Yeah, we're trying to get him to eat various foods. He's 6 months old, almost 7.
Yeah, he eats.
It's time for him to start eating things like
Almost 7 months.
macaroni. That's what I said. Macaroni and cheese and
Yeah.
green potatoes and
Tried
stuff
to
like
tell me
that
what to do
instead of
about
just
my
baby
son,
jars.
tell him I don't whoop my son.
Well,
I tell you, I'm gonna whoop my son.
I had to
man. That's my
look up
son.
how to get him to do it because we've had to look up a lot of things. Google turned out to be my best friend.
Little bitty babies. That's when you start.
Yeah, Google is my best
That's
friend.
when you start. When they real little.
And Google said just to let him go hungry. And yes, that sounds very harsh. And a
Yeah.
lot of parents, a lot of people will have something bad to say about that. But these experts say just let him go hungry.
Yes.
If you ask
Yes,
an older
yes, I know
person,
we're
they
gonna
will
have
actually
early
and you tell them you're being very strict with your child, especially with them being this young.
You still look for the
And, they're saying you're the parent. You're doing exactly what you need to do. They don't seem to have a promise about it. It's just some people just want to stick their nose in your business.
You need to take Sean too. Sean don't need to be on. Yeah.
Yes, Sean does not need to be with him
No.
at all.
What about your pets? What about your pets? Your pets gonna go with him too? Your pets going with you? Oh,
She don't have any.
she ain't got none.
Shoot, if we can get her one as soon as if she really wants one, we can breed her a cat.
Okay, do you like cats? I don't think you like cats. She likes dogs only.
Well, I'm afraid, Mom, you're gonna have a long time to wait.
Yeah, cause when she comes in heat and have puppies, we'll give you one a hug.
But we're trying to get a pit bull to mate with her, but we're gonna get a puppy so we can raise it into what we want.
Yeah. We'll give you a puppy pit.
Yeah, but if you like cats, I've got a female cat that she's still a kitten, but it won't take her long to go in heat. And
they used to like cats, but they quit liking cats and want them to die.
I can guarantee none of these will die. I will make sure she's gonna. This one will stay alive.
So when are you gonna get the divorce, Mom? Okay. Well, we'll help you out.
We'll help you out just with every way we can.
They still having what? No, we done our taxes. We both they both send them out after the 15th or by the 15th, either one of those days. I went ahead and did my taxes early, so I can get my check back early. This month, I'm gonna get mine this month. And he came over there asking about his money. He gotta wait till I get another job to pay him. I'll pay him as soon as I'm getting another job Friday.
What money is he wanting now?
I do owe him $100-some. I'm getting me another job Thursday. Well, my dad used to work at the harbor place, somewhere around the harbor place. They're
doing a job fair down where the harbor is.
I don't know if they pay good. Do they pay good?
Okay. Now we've got the flour, sugar, and cocoa in here mixed up. Let's see, what else does it call for? Baking soda, not baking powder. Okay. This
I'm not gonna be on no river now. I'm gonna work at
Is
the harbor,
baking
but I don't know where it though.
powder.
Thanks.
If you're trying to turn all-purpose flour into
Yeah.
self-rising flour, this is what you need. But go to Google and find out. Go to YouTube or Google or something and find out the proper measurements to do this, because I'm gonna have to do that. The proper measurements to turn all-purpose flour into self-rising flour. That's a good tip, because I'm gonna have to do that myself. Okay, so it says not this. You want not the baking powder, but you want baking soda. Now it says we need 1 teaspoon. Okay, remember my half? So we're gonna go in here. Scrape the top. There's 1/2. 2/2. So that's 1 teaspoon. 1. 2. So that's 2 teaspoons of baking soda, not baking powder. Now I emphasize that because I emphasize certain things because I've had to do that one myself. I do have mental problems. There are a lot of things I can't do that he can. Business being one of them, and sometimes my elevator just doesn't reach the top. Sometimes I get stuck in the middle, or sometimes down at the bottom. Comes business time, when it comes to handling business, I'm stuck at the bottom. Sometimes if something just doesn't click, I get stuck in the middle. Some measurements happens to be one of my little weaknesses. So, with that being said, I've got my baking soda. Now we need to do salt. So it says 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and since we're doubling this, I just need I need to double it. So we're just going to go in here and do my 1/2 again twice, and that will be 1 teaspoon.
I'm telling you, your parents don't like my dad. My grandmother hit my dad in the face. I'm telling you, ain't nobody liking him no more now, for real.
Well, he's chose a very unhealthy lifestyle.
I'm sorry. Okay, you ready? We might need to quit rushing Boaz so much to eat and give him time. That might be what
Now, the cereals that I've been giving him, I can't give it to him fast enough.
Yeah.
But with that, it's new. It's a new texture. Yes, I pureed it, but it's still a new texture. It's also a new flavor. So yes, they say don't push it. Don't take it personally if they refuse. And if all else fails, just let him go hungry.
Well, he done ate this whole bowl, baby. He ate the whole bowl. He liked it. You ready?
You see, that's another thing. With him being as smart as he is, you gotta stick to your guns.
Ready?
Stick to your guns, and he'll get it.
Okay, you ready?
My first child, not the first child I've had to help raise. My adopted mother had to adopt my nephew from my baby sister. Went off the rails and decided she was going to have a baby, and I'm not going to say where she conceived him. But, yeah.
You ready?
it was just not a very healthy environment. So my mom, my adopted mom, had to adopt my nephew, which made my nephew is legally my son's uncle. Okay, 1 cup of cool water, which means I need 2 cups.
Ready? You know, ate this whole bowl, baby.
Good.
Okay, Boaz. Don't think he won't anymore. Or that water might be distracting.
Yes, there's a lot of distractions going on. You got to take that into consideration too. Here's one. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to mix this up, and then I will get the other cup.
All right. Ain't no more, Boaz. You ate all of it.
Now, clean him up with a wipe. Take the bib off and lay him on the floor on his back, and let him have his bottle if he's done.
Where is his bottle?
Refrigerator.
Yeah, he's done. He can't eat no more. He's done. He's full because I can tell he's starting to slow down on that. Eat something.
Now he may throw that bottle down.
Put the bottle in.
In the refrigerator. So he needs to be cleaned up first.
It's ice cold though.
No, I just now put it in there.
Oh, it ain't ice cold? No, it's not ice cold. If it's ice cold, you can't drink it.
Then just pop it in the microwave for a little bit, take the chill off.
There you go. Alright, this is super dirty.
Now, how many of you have actually heard the saying that coffee, chocolate likes coffee? They say if you add coffee to chocolate, it enhances the flavor. That is actually true. Chocolate loves coffee. So we're going to mix this up good. Now, this is a very liquidy batter.
And I am
with the bib, if he's done with the bib, then he's done with. Oh, you're talking about your robe. Okay. Where is my whisk? I used it this morning. There it is. Do you mind washing it for me, honey bunny?
This?
No, that's my potato smasher.
Washing what? Sorry.
It's got itty bitty little pieces of metal crisscrossing over each other several times. There you go. Thank you. Now, this up good. After this, I don't know why she said the vinegar, 6 of the lemon juice or vinegar. No idea. But, thank you. We don't listen to her.
So, just what I'm going to tell you. Dale wants to fight my dad. Because my dad.
What particular reason?
Because my dad abuses his wife. So Dale got the message.
That is one thing that he will actually do. My dad actually does stand up for a woman, which makes it hard for me to believe that he would actually get my mother.
Yeah.
So which also increases my belief that my mother is a pathological liar.
So Dale wants to fight my dad because my dad is his wife. That's why he wants to fight.
That's why when my sister tries to fight me, he would often step up to the plate and defend me. Okay. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's one. There's one set. We got to double this, so we got to do another 6. There's 1. 2, 3, 4. I can feel my back already. 5, 6. I have got a pinched nerve on my lower back. I did it myself years and years and years ago, but with me being a little overweight, I wound up the weight is hurting my back a lot more. So plus, when I was pregnant with our son, he I guess he decided to use that pinched nerve as a squeeze toy or something. And it's severely damaged right now. Plan on trying to get it fixed, but all that takes time. As it is, I'm having to deal with what I've got, and it's still not fun. Okay, get this mixed up. The only other thing says 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to add some, if you could see this, it's real nice and foamy.
I didn't mean to.
Oh, Milo, what's the matter?
I sit on top of the shed.
Oh, come here, baby. Come here. Come here, baby. Did Papa sit on your head? I kissed a boo-boo. Maybe Papa. Maybe Papa.
Is he okay?
Well, yeah. I told you I baby every damn one of them. And, well, excuse you. Did you sneeze? Oh, you're allergic to something. Did you acquire an allergy? This chocolate is looking so good. And the cool thing is it has no eggs in it. So how does it stick? How does it stick together if it has no eggs? 1 teaspoon, so let's pull out our half again. That's 1. Two. That's 1 teaspoon. 1. Get that coffee out, would you please, honey bunny? 2. That's 2 teaspoons.
Well, at least he didn't come over here acting crazy.
At least you didn't come in the house acting crazy. Okay, I need it. I'm just gonna put a splash of it in here. old-fashioned
Okay, my nose
measurement.
fine. Oh shit! Shit! I got the envelope.
Huh?
Wait a minute.
Now we're gonna
Oh,
mix this.
oh! I need to check my email.
And cut the volume down on the TV. If you got that interview, cut it down so you can do it.
Oh,
Or you can come in here. I ain't gonna bother you.
I believe I've gone a few extra pounds. I was really hard on myself. I was just tired of feeling like that. It was hard for me to wait until.
Yeah, we won't bother him, will we? This is a normal, average, everyday thing for us. Okay, now I told you that chocolate loves coffee, which is why I poured that blue cup has a cold coffee. If we don't drink it, I keep it because if I do make chocolate stuff, if I do make anything with chocolate, I will put a little coffee inside my chocolate.
The consultants are amazing. The food is delicious. The program is the best. I mean, what do you really have?
Okay. Now, with that said, I'm going to take my bundt cake. I'm going to rinse this out because it's been a while since I used it.
Location? How do you guys feel about it? I like the location. It's actually close to work.
This is not terrible.
Look at the house.
Well, this house may be
Okay.
outside their neighborhood. It is
Now I'm going to set this very carefully
space that includes
up here.
4 bathrooms, including master bath.
We're going to clean up the work area. That's a pet peeve of mine. I have to keep things somewhat clean. I've got short space to deal with, so I've got to have some kind of order around here.
I love those floors. Zero parking in this house.
So now I'm going to get back to my shortening, and with me doing all this baking, I'm running low.
Formal dining room area.
I have to change that.
She's got a great space behind.
We're going to start greasing the pan. Do what, hon?
he's done with it.
Done with it.
He drunk the whole thing.
Oh, I thought you said the interview. Like what? What the?
Oh no, they haven't sent it yet. They haven't sent it.
Then what was that about the interview, hon?
Yeah.
Or were you just yanking my leg?
No, it wasn't.
Meaning you were playing with me, honey.
No, I do have an interview.
When?
I don't know yet. They sent me the message already, said something about an interview. Say, look, I'll reach to you.
Yeah, but that would make the 4th or 5th time.
What's the date for? It's the 3rd.
Made out for upstairs. Sullivan's bedroom.
Right there.
Just a friendly reminder to complete your video interview, check your email inbox for the instructions. Wish I knew where this place was.
I don't know what.
Okay, got that nice and greased. Some of these chefs tell you to put flour, dust your pan with flour because it helps with the non-sticking. I've got a lot of oil. I got a lot of grease in there, and I really don't need that. Sometimes I will do that. That's a very helpful tip. So let me get this grease off my hand.
What do you think overall? Property, location, house?
I don't see it yet, but I'm waiting for it. So that means I can start this week and have a check. I mean, it won't be until next week, following Monday. But they pay Monday to Thursday.
In the middle of the week. Like you were doing at Cindy's Villa.
My biggest thing is definitely.
This is $30 an hour.
I love that.
I'm waiting on.
Did you have to pull the bottle away from him, or did he just give it up?
He just dropped the ball. You don't supposed to let him suck all the air in, though.
Mm-mm.
But it ain't gonna hurt him because he's sitting on his back. So it really ain't gonna hurt him.
They've been doing a good job. I'm not gonna deny that, but I still love our home and want to see what they're able to do. Wow. They used to have a closet here. To go back to the last class.
That is nice.
That's gonna be a big shower.
That's a very big shower.
All right, and then the other issue we had was your bonus. So this allows to see your exact information.
I know that's not sexy, but that actually makes me happy. So has anything changed with the budget finding extra cash for the outsiders?
We haven't answered that. We've talked about it,
It's pretty important. It's to the point where, I mean, just let's come here. We need to just do this. I have 4 different colors here. We need to figure out a way to make this happen.
There isn't a weed here. There isn't a weed here.
That's what we have to do.
The deck is going to go.
Yeah, go and we the house.
Of course the deck could go.
This needs to be fixed.
You're both okay with your deck being a future project for you and getting funded.
Without a doubt.
So you really
I'm starting to wonder about the whole process now. I mean, I just feel like there's so many things that have pulled off the list.
someone doesn't even begin to describe, Brian.
We did it for $70,000. You cannot redo
So
everything.
how much do you? That's a lot of money. We talked about this before we set the budget. How much we thought it was going to take to do this stuff, and that was the number we came up with.
The deck is off the table. I'm really sorry.
This is dope.
No house is gonna be perfect, and Hillary is doing what we asked her to do, which was to make your list of projects less, and that is what she's doing.
We're not going to let the paper out of the house and say, Alan needs to upside down, upside down.
Wow.
Sorry.
What a waste of time.
I don't know what it is that's gonna make you happy. She's painting a house, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Very carefully, let's pop this in the oven.
This couple is big. Ooh.
But that's not all.
All right. Now, I just realized what the vinegar was for. It's probably a thickening agent, which is why that turned out to be so. Which is why every time I make that cake, it turns out to be very bubbly, very foamy and bubbly. Okay. Now, got that going. did have some leftover turkey. Found some turkey breast over at Home Depot, which is not Home Depot.
Constant contact email marketing. Powerful stuff.
Well, I did know until I opened my big mouth. There's a grocery store around here that two of them actually that does Pick 5, and I found some turkey, frozen turkey breast. I cooked it. We had,
Expectations in a little bit. Right house, just wrong location.
Bad neighborhood.
and let's just see how well it's risen because it's gonna take 3 hours to do this. So y'all won't be able to see the finished product. And yes, it is rising, but very, 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 extremely, very slowly.
She seemed pretty excited about some stuff, but it's gonna take a lot to get her to buy the house. It's without having that bonus room up there. I mean, it's all that needs a playroom.
Daddy needs a playroom.
Daddy needs a playroom.
I think right
Okay.
that he is
Let's put this back in there.
correct right now.
I think it's close. I think he's really close to finding the right
It's
one.
definitely getting close, but it's not there yet. David's doing a good job. I'm gonna deny that, but I still.
Well, I want them to see the finished product on this cake, but I really don't know what else to do.
Ties to home. David regroups while the couple heads to their house.
So,
Review outdoor RG orders.
that's this live stream is gonna have to be in 2 parts. When this cake gets done, because it's gonna take a minute. My dough is gonna take a minute because that takes 3 hours to rise. I will go live again tonight so that y'all can see the finished product of the rolls and the cake. And hey, Daniel, come here, please.
It'll make a huge difference, especially with the sod and everything.
I agree. Totally agree.
Santa told them so happy and so excited about when this house is gonna look. That's fantastic.
Honey bunches, come here, please.
And he wants to go inside. He's getting more attached to this place.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go live again tonight so that they can see the cake, see the rolls. So it's not going to be a very tonight. The live stream is not going to be very long. I just want you to see what this cake is going to look like when it's done. Plus, I want you to see the rolls because, like I said, that's going to take 3 hours to do, and there's no sense in y'all waiting for 3 hours for a finished product. So, goodbye for now. God bless, and I will see you tonight.